Hey folks, Leith here in Western Australia. I'm going to do some astrology reading for you. I'm going to keep it concise, brief, and hopefully within 10 to 15 minutes. Before we dig into the charts, I want to offer a prayer and thanks to all the souls off planet and on planet, and for the incredible journey that we're all going through right now. We know this is the end of times. It is well prophesied. It is well written. This is the end of slavery. This is the rise of consciousness. This is the end of an age and an era where one very small group of people have had control of the planet and its resources and your life. And it is the end time for these creatures. So I know lots of people are struggling in their quarantine situation. Some people are peaceful, lots of people are not. I hope that this can bring you a little bit of peace. I know that the suicides are going up and the domestic violence. We are social creatures. It's not normal that we would be locked in our houses. But I assure you, you are there for your safety. The last time that this was attempted, we had 9/11. So we're all in our homes to prevent a mass killing like 9/11. So just give thanks, give prayer, be peaceful. I hope all your needs are being met as best as possible. There are finance programs coming out all the time. You should consider yourself to be in the first stages of being free, and not be up in arms, and not be thinking you need to go into battle with the government. That is not what is happening. So please just have peace about this. Relax. If you have food and shelter, you're safe. Your business will be fine. Your job will be fine. It's all good. If you don't have food and shelter, my heart goes out to you, and I hope there's helping hands coming your way. Let's dig into the landscape now, please, of where this stage of history has begun. And I'm going to go to Pluto, our most outer orb of this galaxy, which has the longest orbit of 248 years. So when it makes a movement into a new sign, it's a big deal because it changes the flavor of humanity's consciousness on the planet. So we want to know, when was the last time it made a move? Well, it moved into Capricorn in 2008. So let's go into the charts. January 26, 2008. We can see, I'll zoom it in for you, Capricorn here. Pluto went into Capricorn at 0 degrees, and it's going to stay there. This is the date it went in. And it's going to stay there until this date, January 21, 2024. So what does that mean? So this is where it entered by transit. It is now here at 24 degrees. And when it gets to 0 degrees of Aquarius, where it's traveling to next, it will be this date here. So what happened in 2008, and what reference does all of this have? So firstly, let's clarify. Pluto is the planet of irreconcilable change. One of the things we all struggle the most with is change in life. It can be very traumatic, but it can also be extremely wonderful. So Pluto is classically known as dealing with the underworld. We are dealing with a awful underworld. Whether you know it or not, there is a lot being cleansed from the physical underworld of a species that feasts upon the human race. I know many people think that the human race is the apex species on the planet, but that is not entirely the case. There is another species that likes to feast upon the human species. So Pluto, death, drama, crisis, rebirth, irreconcilable change. In the sign of Capricorn, the boss. The glyphs start at Aries. So here, Aries, the hunter, Taurus, our home, Gemini, communication, Cancer, the family unit, Leo, our ambassador, Virgo, our system so we stay healthy and alive, Libra, law and are we all getting along, Scorpio, the tribe's resources, Sagittarius, far off information coming in so we don't become extinct. Capricorn, the boss. Aquarius, humanity, is everyone okay? And Pisces, back into the collective. So you can see by the time we get around to Capricorn, we have a very progressed tribe. And here we are, Pluto in Capricorn, the boss. All signs have an axis of possibility, but the most predominant possibility of Capricorn is that its role is the boss, a cardinal earth sign. It's a very powerful sign. It has a very austere energy to it. It's ruled by Saturn, and I will do a video on Saturn and its return to the date of the JFK shooting in another video. I won't have time to do it in this one. So back to 2008 when this entered, what happened? Well, of course, we had the global financial crisis. So it came in January. There was a small retrograde in April where I'm sure the people of that current financial system were saying, oh my God, this is big, this is ugly, what can we hide it? And they did for a little bit, then it moved forward again in September, and boom, the world became aware of the global financial crisis and all hell started to break loose on the planet. By November, we were pretty clear that we were in a nightmare mess of a privately owned financial system. So how do we know all this is ending? We go to divine law. We know in divine law that it is non-negotiable. It can't be bent. You can't put divine law aside and get a win out of it. You might get a little delay on it coming to bite you on the ass, but you won't win forever. And it's come and biting on the ass big time right now. So divine law is Matthew 5.5, the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek are not corporations ruling the place, running riot, making up silly fake laws that we're all beholden to and that will rip your life apart if you don't follow them. That is what has been happening. I personally had my life torn to shreds with that 2008 global financial crisis, and I know a lot of people feel right now in this next stage that their life is being torn to shreds, but I assure you it's not. In 2008, the funds that were released went to the banks and they continued to run riot. This time the funds are going to the people and the banks are being removed. So I just want to say that the last week of March, just gone, that privately owned Federal Reserve that came into play on December 23rd, 1913, when Congress was on holiday basically, snuck itself into power and has been playing with your life and all your ancestors for 106 years and 3 months. It just got snuffed out. It got morphed into the US Treasury, which is under the command of POTUS. So that is the end of an era. So all of that debt that has come into your life that is fake and fictional and collateralized against your hard work is all fake. So there is a remedy coming, and I want you to have huge confidence about that. We are coming to the end stages. We're at 2020. We're near the end. When we have a transit that is coming to the end, we are expecting to see a huge culmination of the highest potentials of that energy, and we are seeing that. If you haven't come to terms yet with the fact that Donald Trump is an absolute savior on this planet, is doing a magnificent job and has an amazing team behind him protecting him so that he is not assassinated like Lincoln or JFK, and so that a people-owned currency can come into play again and you can be free to enjoy your life. It is ridiculous that there are 2 people working in a household, that children are in daycare being raised by other people other than their parents. This is an absurdity. The idea that there can be a mandatory vaccination, which is circulating the planet right now, is so outside of law, it is ridiculous. Consent is the king of law. There is no such concept as a mandatory vaccination unless you are a slave. We are leaving slavery. This is the end.